Hey guys, how's it going? LPB here coming at you with a quick video. You're gonna notice from the last couple videos I was in the wife's car. I got the truck back. Finally sweet talked her into letting me have it back. Yeah. So, that being said, we're gonna have a little discussion on Jeep versus truck versus SUV for prepper, survivalist, self-reliant individual minded, right? What constitutes a good prepper, survivalist, self-reliant individual, whatever nomenclature you want to use, right? What should you have? Well, I think every household period should have a pickup truck. That's just my mentality. Grew up driving trucks, did the whole sports car thing, would not go back to that for what's money's in the world. Just personal preference. Which truck should you buy? Pick your poison, right? You're not a real mechanic until you understand that all trucks break down, all vehicles break down, they're all hunks of crap. Just some break less than others. But that also depends on how you treat them, right? So, in all reality, the big three trucks, Ram, which is my preference, Ford and Chevy. Again, pick your poison. Toyota Tundra is a good truck. Damn good truck. Those things last forever. They're damn near bulletproof. The Honda Ridgeline is not a truck. It's an SUV with birth defect. Just get that out there. And yeah, Jeep Gladiator has potential, especially for a bug-out vehicle kind of thing. Has all the advantages of a Jeep and a truck combined. So there's that. If you're looking for a specific BOV, bug-out vehicle, something to think about. They're fairly common here, so you're not really going to stick out, and most guys who have them here have them set up as overlanding rigs, so it's not going to be too out of place. Again, truck versus SUV, or sorry, Jeep versus SUV, depends on the SUV. Jeep Wrangler is what I'm referring to when I say Jeep. In my mind, the only decent one. Although the Cherokee Trailhawk is not bad at all. If you're looking for a more urban yet off-road capable vehicle, that's definitely a good one. A couple of the guys I work with have those things, and we take them out to the mud holes, and they hold up pretty well on trail and stuff like that. Not a lot of room for utility though. Great for getting you places. Same with a Jeep. A Jeep, your main thing is getting there, right? That's the whole point of a Jeep, get you there. So, a truck is to get you there with stuff, right? I like crew cab trucks. I think regular cab, unless you're using it as a work truck, and even then it's kind of useless. Extended cab is pretty much the smallest I go. I've owned a regular cab, 94 Sierra. I had that thing all throughout high school. Decent vehicle, although the thing rotted out on me, so I didn't really have time to test its longevity. Right now I got a Ram 1500. It does what I need to do for now. Next up will probably be either a 2500 Ram or a 3500 Ram. We shall see. But I'm not about to drop $100,000 on a truck, so that's another thing too. What's the price of the truck versus what is it gonna do for you? Now, if you're sitting out there and you're loaded, yeah, go buy brand new. Okay, it's gonna last you a bit longer. Well, arguably, anyways. If you buy the right truck, it's gonna last you a bit longer than a used one. But if you're looking, let's say you have a homestead, right? You don't want to buy a $80,000 truck cash and destroy it on a homestead. unless you have that kind of flexible money, in which case hit me up, because I sure as heck don't. But typical $1,000 truck, $2,000 truck, $4,000 truck will do just fine for around the homestead. Does it run? Does it stop? It's not going to catch on fire. It's good to go, right? You're not going to fall through the floorboards. You're fine. It's a work truck, right? Would I recommend buying a new truck for like daily driving? Yeah. Or even a slightly used truck, maybe a couple years old. This guy's got a nice welding rig set up on his. Nice. Sorry guys, got distracted by shiny dude stuff. Yeah, so obviously you can tell where I lean. I'm more of a truck guy. The wife likes Jeep. We're actually going to be trading hers in for a Wrangler fairly soon. She's got a Hyundai Kona right now. Again, great vehicle, just not quite what we need, right? If your kids are going away to college and they want to buy a new vehicle, that's a good choice. Stay away from the accent. The thing has a horrible safety record. So, just keep that in mind if you're looking at those. Yeah, so I like the trucks as the prepper vehicle, survivalist, self-reliant minded individual. Again, whatever fancy nomenclature you want to use. Simply for the fact that it can pull, it can carry stuff in the bed, and you can have a crew cab to carry people. I would recommend getting a bed cap. I currently don't have one. I'm waiting one. I actually managed to find one for my truck. It's a Lear cap, and it's color matched, which I like. Just one of those things I don't like mixed matched, right? Call me OCD with that, whatever. I just don't like to be looking like I'm driving a clunker all the time. I've been there, done that. Maybe you can argue that's just keeping up with the Joneses, but I like what I like. You like what you like. Another thing, if you're driving a truck, and let's say there's road blockage up ahead, and you gotta hit the ditch, pop her in 4x4 as long as it's not too muddy. You can go on the island medium to get around. Now, you're not going to be going fast when you do that. If you've ever had to hit the 4x while driving and going from asphalt to dirt, it's not fun. Especially when you're going full out. Like, for example, right now I'm going 110 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit on this highway. Which is the speed limit on this highway. So for you Americans, that's about 75 kilometers an hour, give or take, 70 kilometers an hour. Yeah. So, are you realistically gonna need that capability? Probably. If you're bugging out, there's a good chance, especially if you're leaving early enough, that there might be a couple of road closures, right? So you might need to find alternate routes, whether that's back roads, farmers' fields, you name it, ATV trails, whatever, okay? That's where the Jeep argument comes in. You can get higher ground clearance off of a Jeep fairly easily. Now, yes, you can lift your truck, but trucks are a whole hell of a lot wider than a Jeep, so getting that down a trail might be a little bit tricky, but obviously you can do it. Your paint job's not going to like you too much, but at that point, survival versus your paint, it's very clear which one you're going to pick, right? Some of the newer, smaller trucks, like the Ford Maverick, if you live in the city or suburban and you have a very short way to go, or you barely need a truck for what you're doing, I guess so, right? That's more of a, I need a bed to carry my mountain bike, to carry my lawnmower, like things like that, like small, like, I don't want to say rural, because it's definitely not rural, but suburban. It's a suburban truck, right? Ford Ranger, GMC Canyon, Dodge Dakota. I really hope they bring that thing back. Those trucks are like the bare minimum for a truck. And even then, I'm hesitant on it. A friend of mine has a Colorado. I think that's Chevy. I think Chevy makes the Colorado. I think GMC is the Canyon. Anyways, whatever it is, if it's switched, whatever, it's the same thing, just different trim, in all honesty. It's good. He's got the off-road one. It's good. It'll get you through stuff, but my truck will still get through it, no problem, and it's roughly the same price point. So, like, I think my truck brand new is like $5,000 more than what his truck was brand new. So for an extra $5,000, you can get a full-size truck, and the fuel economy is essentially the same, right? I don't know about you guys, but where I'm at, the price of fuel is a bit ridiculous. This morning, it was $1.60 a liter, which is like $5 or $6 a gallon. No, more than that. Close to $7 a gallon, because there's 4.2 liters in a gallon. $1.60, $3.20. Yeah, almost, yeah. Just under $7 a gallon. That's ridiculous. And you guys, and some of you guys in the States there, I see you're paying like $4 a gallon. I wish. That's cheap, okay? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Not but 2 years ago, gas here was 42 cents a liter. That's pretty bad. Some places in Canada are upwards of $1.70, $1.80 a liter. That's insane. At that point, you may as well buy a bike and start biking. It's just not economical to drive anywhere, especially not in a truck. In a little four-banger car, yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I haven't driven a four-banger car since I don't even know when. Yeah. Probably the Mazda Protege I learned how to drive in, actually. So, almost 10 years ago. Yeah. So, as you can tell, I lean towards the Jeep. Now, the SUV thing, okay? Ford Excursion, Toyota 4Runner, RAV4, that kind of vehicle, Escalade. Even the Escalade and the 4Runner, I would, honestly, and the Yukon and the Durango, I would put that in the truck category, because you're getting the same, similar, or not the same, you're getting similar performance from a truck, right? And roughly about the same price point. The 4Runner, in my opinion, kind of biased here because I've always wanted one. The 4Runner, it's a beast, okay? There's no arguing that. The Toyota 4Runner is a beast. It always has been, and it hopefully will be. They're just bulletproof. Toyota makes a good vehicle. Now, that said, would I buy a Tundra? I would, but not as my main truck. I don't know. I grew up around like Dodge. My parents, they always had Dodge. I worked on Dodges for many years. So it's just I know Dodge, right? It's what I grew up around. So it's kind of sentimental almost. So the SUV thing, like, okay, so full size SUVs. What do you have in that class? Yukon, the Suburban, what's Ford's? The Expedition, Durango, 4Runner. I don't even know if they still make the Sequoia, Hyundai Palisade, right? That kind of thing. Those full-size SUVs. Yeah, they're in between a Jeep and a truck for utility, in my opinion, right? Then you got your mid-size SUVs. Those are like your Honda CR-Vs, your RAV4s. What else is there? I don't know. They don't make the Dodge Journey anymore, but if you have a Journey, that would be a mid-size SUV. Stuff like that, right? That family grocery getter car or SUV, right? Like the Hyundai Tucson and stuff like that, right? Yeah, it's a little bit more gray, man. If you're looking for that, it's a little bit more gray, man, than what you would assume, right? Like every driveway here has at least an SUV. The odd one has like a Honda Civic, right? It's commonplace, so it's not really going to be out of place, right? You can put a lot of stuff in the back of one of those. If you got a long commute to and from work, maybe having like a Honda CR-V is not a bad idea, right? Subaru makes a damn good vehicle. The only problem is at 150,000 kilometers, you got to replace the head gaskets because they leak. Ask me how I know. I owned a Subaru Legacy for 3 years, and I think I replaced that head gasket twice. Once when I bought it, and then once when it hit 300. So, yeah, not a fun job. And if you want to pay somebody to do it, it's at least $3,000. So, keep that in mind. The all-wheel drive system, though, is second to none on a Subaru. The thing will just keep going. Anyways. Crosstrek's a good vehicle. I contemplated buying a Crosstrek as a secondary vehicle. Manual, all-wheel drive, bare bones. They run about 26K Canadian, 28K. Not bad. Used, you can get them for like 10 or 12. And that's fairly new, right? So, cost-benefit analysis, you got to go through that. What's it going to do? How much is it going to cost you? Whatever. Now, again, playing devil's advocate, buy what you can afford, obviously. Having a Honda Civic, if that's all you can afford, is better than just having a bicycle, right? It's common sense. Maybe cut your spending and buy a used CR-V. You can get like a 2005 CR-V here for like $3,000, right? It's not that much more than like a shitbox, right? If that's where you're at, right? Do the best with what you got, what you can work with. If that means putting in a couple extra hours at work, getting another job part-time, whatever. Cut your spending, do whatever, but get a vehicle that's actually capable of something. I see too many people just settle. Don't settle. Get something that's good, mechanically sound, preferably all-wheel drive is my preference. All-wheel drive or 4x4. Especially where I'm at, that's the only things I'll drive. It's the only things I ever have driven, except for my Mazda Protege. It was front-wheel drive. That's what I would recommend. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. OPB out.